We look like in the American news. Like, good morning.
Wait, let's do it. Ready? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
This is, what's your name?
What's your name?
I'm Kris Shackman.
And I am Aga
And
which
we're
is almost impossible to say.
Radziecka.
No.
Because when people are pronouncing your name, I hear everything from Rajuska to.
Yeah. I do the same.
So let's start with that.
Okay.
What is your name?
But my full name?
Your full name?
Agnieszka Rojewska.
Radziecka.
Rojewska. Yes.
And how,
more or less.
Okay. And Shackman.
Shackman.
That's my last name. It's pretty easy.
But you're like Chris or Christopher?
Christopher.
With K?
With a K, and my middle name is Ram.
Ram? Like Ram?
R-A-M.
Like Rome in Italy?
I think like Ram Das or like Ram. Yeah, it's a.
So my middle name is.
I didn't pick it, but.
My middle name is Veronica.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
So,
nice to meet you.
Tell me something about. You know something about coffee?
Just a little bit.
We wanted to have this time. Actually, this is our first ever podcast. Or what is this? A podcast or just a place where people can talk about coffee?
Yeah.
Ask us questions. Chat. It's a coffee chat. And yeah, we invite you all to submit questions. You can always write them in the comments down below or on the side.
Yeah. Somewhere.
Yeah. So I would like to start this. We should be drinking a coffee.
Yeah.
So we have here a coffee beer from Fürst Wiacek in Berlin, made with our beef to Gudina Ethiopian coffee. So we can try it.
So it's a dark beer, right?
It's a dark beer. It's a stout. I just want to preface, actually anything goes in this podcast, so we're not actually. We can talk about anything.
We're
it doesn't
not
have to be. We're not restricted. There's no sponsors. Stressing, but we're open to sponsors. Yes. I think Five Elephant. It would be good if Five Elephant could sponsor at least, and then.
And like Fürst Wiacek.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So let's talk about coffee beer.
Okay.
Do you like coffee beer?
Not a fan. Okay, in general, why I'm not a fan of coffee beers is most of the time they are too heavy.
Yeah, so too thick with the coffee flavor or the beer flavor?
It's generally the style of beer I don't like. Gotcha. I prefer
like a lager?
A lager, pills, or this wheat beer is
I like a Hefeweizen.
Yes,
I actually really like
lighter, more fruity.
Yeah.
And those are too heavy. I can drink
But you have to finish this.
I know.
Right?
It's gonna be a long.
It's kind of syrupy, right? Or
yeah, it is. Like it's lighter than the last one I had in Poland, because I'm not. I think the other one was made using espresso. This is a little bit more light and fruity, and maybe because of the coconut a little bit.
Yeah, I think you taste the coconut. It gives it this really creamy. But it's pretty intense. 10%.
Yeah, it is.
That's intense. A strong.
But this is, I think, it is the typical thing for this style of beers.
Yeah.
That the dark beers actually have higher percentage.
Okay, but it's also then maybe you lose a little bit of the taste of the coffee in it, or it's harder to have it come through. I think the taste of the coffee, maybe. Also,
just think about it. So you're having a beer which is supposed to kind of put you to sleep.
Sorry, are you having a beer or are you having a coffee?
Yeah, that's it. Like, are you going to sleep? Because it's like the end of the day, or you're like keeping yourself awake.
Or both.
Yeah, well,
but
it's an Irish coffee.
It's a perfect energy drink, right? Or would you drink this and go running?
No.
Or yeah, probably.
Because it's too heavy.
Yeah, so slow you down.
Yeah.
So when you're climbing a mountain 3 times in a row.
No. You need something lighter than that.
Okay.
But like a part of that, like the flavor for the coffee beer, especially Ethiopian coffee, I think it works because Ethiopian coffees are lighter and a little bit more fruity. And in here, you're not having like this dark chocolate, like heavy flavors, like like those molasses sweetness and
But you aren't, or
there's it's not in here. Like, it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more into
I taste some molasses. I don't know.
Yeah, but not on that heavy side.
It's not like sticking in your mouth and coating. So the first time I met you, I was propositioned to get drunk.
Yes.
I think so. From as far as I can remember, I think it was in New York and
okay, Coffee Masters.
Coffee Masters, and you said, "Hello, Judge. I would love when I used to like to get drunk and party." I think you said this, like from my memory, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. And he said, "Now I'm just going to make a drink and we're going to get drunk."
Well,
and maybe that
might happen, but also might not happen.
But I don't know if the time had started, so I don't know if it was part of the competition or not, or.
It's difficult.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay.
No, I would say that it wasn't me because I usually don't go with such a straightforward proposition.
But that's what was so weird to me. It's like it stuck in my head. I was like, okay, she's being honest, and that's kind of cool. And yeah,
it might happen, but I was making a
you made a kind of joke. It was a joke at the beginning. I couldn't tell if it was serious, but it was like, let's get drunk now.
Yeah. But I was making a coffee beer as my signature in New York.
Yeah.
Kind of a version of a coffee beer.
But that's what
infused cascara.
That's what
it was a Queen's liquor coffee. Everything was infused.
Yeah. I don't actually remember the drink, but I remember you saying, "I'm just competing, and let's get drunk." And you said, like, I was like, "Well, where do you work?" And you said, "I compete." And I said, "Oh, okay, great. Like, let's get drunk now." And I was like, "All right, that's honest." And I guess, you did really well, right? Or almost won.
Almost.
You lost by
0.4.
0.4. Mm-hmm. Yes, to a cotton candy machine.
Yeah. But she lives in New York.
Yeah,
so
it was kind of. She did a great job, and you came back and won the next year, right? Or
yes, yeah, it was about London, not New York.
That was fun. So I have some. First, I think we can tease the subscription video. We have, for those of you who are signed up for our coffee subscription, we have every month we're going to be sending you a video where we talk a little bit more focused than this talk, but we talk about coffee and probably brew the coffee and talk about what's going on with the farm, what we can do with brewing.
The story behind it, how to brew it, how it tastes like, do we like it?
So for those of you can head on, come to our website and sign up for our subscription, and we will make tons of videos. Actually, I'm getting used to the videos again. It's been a while with COVID that, this is new, right?
Yes.
Sitting next to somebody and
in person. Like touching is even more.
I'm sorry. Should we, you want some props to talk about?
Well, we just kind of looking for subjects, and always new issue of Coffee Magazine is like a source of.
It's like ripe for talking about. So we'd like to have this conversation, talk a little bit about current events, a little bit about the coffees we're doing. We're going to release a new competition line of coffee. We hope in the next month if we can get everything ready. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and then I think it's also a great opportunity to talk about barista culture and roasting culture, and also questions about competitions, because I think you've won something, right? Like a few. The worst barista champion?
The worst of the worst.
Last year, worst barista,
2018.
2018. So we, I don't, let's just go through it and see. Everyone knows the Barista Magazine.
Yep.
They just somehow show up here. I don't know, why, but.
Post office.
I don't know. So if you have this magazine, you can kind of just follow along with us, right?
Okay, so we kind of ignored the first.
You mean the?
Yeah, just a bunch of stuff.
Culture in a cup.
Culture in Saudi culture. Well, this is actually a very growing market.
In Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, there's much more articles about how this is actually blooming.
So I love this Cafe Imports. It's really cool that they offer it in this kind of recyclable bag.
Those are samples, right?
Yeah, so that their samples are coming in. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice. It's
And
always...
I actually love the feeling of these bags. They're kind of stretchy.
Oh, okay.
You know, these like, you put
I know.
like fruit in it at the grocery store.
I haven't seen it.
I really like that.
And I haven't... Okay, so...
Yeah.
Hemp. I don't know what's hemp.
Hemp. I mean, they should just be honest, right? It should be Barista Series marijuana. Marijuana plant-based beverage. How much more would you sell than hemp? I mean,
definitely much more.
Or like ganja milk.
Yeah, but then the expectation is different.
That's true. But they could put some CBD in it, and ooh.
Yeah, I actually did like the candy, like the fudge candy.
Fudge candy.
Yeah, like with the OCB.
And it was good?
I didn't try it. I gave it to my friend who really wanted.
Okay.
Okay, so the new La Marzocco Micra.
Micra. So we only are using La Marzocco in our shops. I haven't used this one yet. Did you try it or?
No.
So the La Marzocco Germany is just across the canal here, so they're pretty close. I guess they have one. We could go.
Yeah, they would probably.
Let's go bother them tomorrow and knock on their. Just show up.
Okay, another plant-based milk. I think it's like a big, huge, basically trend to make
plant milk. Or,
yeah.
So this month we have. I'm gonna plug it, Wally. Okay, we have Veganuary. So we actually all of our shops we don't even serve our cheesecake, sadly, because I know that's the only reason you came today.
And they don't offer cheesecake. They
no
just
cheesecake
gave me a
today.
coffee beer.
Yeah. But I think it's really important to like highlight the importance of us moving away from animal products, from cow milk and meat. I think
even competition finally went to that direction.
So what's the deal with that? With the
so there's a big change in WBC and World Brewers Cup rules. So it was like years of conversations and talking about allowing not cow's milk into the World Brewers Championship, because it used to be in the rules that it had to be cow's milk based.
Okay.
So you still could serve, let's say, milk beverage with oat milk or whatever other milk, but you were just
like scored down or
zero for flavor.
Yeah. It's just, okay. Because it doesn't taste like cow milk. What if it did taste like cow milk?
Well, nobody was tricky enough,
right,
to do that. And
I want to just ask the question that I'm sure everyone wants to ask: at what point do oats become cow milk? Because cows are eating oats, right? Is that specified in the rules that
no, like it's
when it's in the second stomach or
no?
This is I don't know. It's
mere, but there's a one tricky point in the rule that it has to be plant-based and it cannot be flavored.
Gotcha.
And it have to be commercially
like produced.
Yeah. Okay. So like you need to be able to buy it in a shop in a way.
Yeah.
So what they kind of remove from the competition, that every single barista will make its own milk.
Okay.
Because they will lose control of how it's actually produced, and you never know if it's safe or something like that. And a lot of those milks that are used commercially, they actually had a flavor improvement. So they are technically forbidden.
Because they have what do they call it, binding agents or some kind of
but they have like a vanillin or something like that to add sweetness. Okay. And this will be this will be a very interesting year, because those rules will apply to World Barista Championship in Athens for the first time. And there's a lot of questions from competitors and from the judges
about whether it's what to do.
What do we actually mean by that?
Do they have who's responsible for checking this actually? Do they have a team?
There will be judges training just before WBC, and a lot of judges will be updated just before the competition. Okay. And if there is it has always been if you think that it might be against the rules, you might ask the competitor to actually show you the original box.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, you have to be competitor have to be ready to provide
The packaging, the commercial packaging of the...
So you have the list of ingredients.
Understood.
It will be pretty tricky.
So when Wojtek, who was working for us, he was competing in Boston. I was in Western Massachusetts, because he was a little bit worried about the milk coming and how it would last and how long it would last, because it was unhomogenized and super fresh milk. Some of it was frozen. And I was searching for milk out in Western Massachusetts, and the best milk we found was unpasteurized and unhomogenized, essentially raw cow milk. And this, I think, brought up an interesting question. If you serve raw cow milk to a judge and they refuse to drink it because they're worried about safety, do the same rules apply to cow milk, do you think? Or, does it have to be in a commercial pasteurized?
There wasn't a rule like that before.
Okay.
So they have to be commercially...
But ethically, should you tell the judges whether or not...
Well, you can. It's your choice.
I mean, if they're pregnant, you can actually...
The judge cannot kind of refuse. He cannot refuse.
To drink it, even if it could harm them.
If they agree to judge, they cannot refuse.
Okay.
They, of course, if it have to be very clearly dangerous.
Well, it can be
clearly dangerous.
If you're pregnant, I think drinking raw cow milk could be...
Yeah, but then you're not supposed to be judging.
Okay. You can't judge if you're pregnant.
You can, but you should.
I mean, you're drinking coffee for a whole day, a whole weekend.
Yeah, okay. It's your own responsibility.
Understood.
If you have any kind of food intolerances or you're allergic to something and you know that,
Gotcha.
And you decide to judge, this is your own kind of risk.
True.
If you don't judge if you're lactose intolerant and you know that you have to drink.
Or if you get coffee rashes.
Or maybe if you're a vegan, you're not judging barista competition. There are other competitions that you can judge.
Okay.
Or if you're vegan and there's milk beverage.
This is probably not the right competition for you.
It's the same as with competitors.
It's common sense.
It's the same with competitors.
You mean if you shake or...
No, there was few people in Poland that they were I'm a vegan, so I cannot compete in barista competition because I cannot taste my own milk drink. And so it's okay, so this is certain rules that you follow. If you don't agree with the rules, there are other competitions you can compete.
Yeah. You could be latte art, right? Or
if you're vegan, not really. Or Brewers Cup.
But that if you're not eating it, right?
Yeah, but then
it's wearing leather, maybe.
But vegan is much more than just eating.
It's wearing leather.
Yeah, it's just the whole
using animal products, and that's true.
So then you have Brewers Cup.
Well, yeah.
And cup tasting, roasting.
But just from one ad for macadamia milk, this is crazy, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation around that.
It's really you wanna.
Yeah, just go to mocha. Seasonal drinks. What do you think?
Have yourself a merry little mocha.
I actually like seasonal drinks. Maybe not in general.
I'm a
lot of sugar and stuff like that.
Over the top and intense.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, maybe the shot master. What else? I'm not gonna stop at the.
No, you already passed.
Sonia.
You passed it. She was in the last one.
That's
it was
great.
100 issue.
Sonia, the first time I met her was in Reykjavik when I think she still had her roastery there.
I think it's a different one.
Now it's Reykjavik Roasters. Back when she had it, I'm sorry, Sonia, but I forgot the name. If she watches this, but it was pink. It was such a cool.
Yeah,
to go to Reykjavik and then go to this little shop where she had this roastery. It was.
Yeah, but I think that she
really
sold
memorable.
That one.
She sold it
She had a break, and now she has a new one.
Okay.
They have a really nice logo because it's just coffee beans, but because they are different sizes, it looks like it's 3D. It's a really nice
But
logo.
Sonia, she's probably the most prolific judge in WBC.
Yeah, but she's not judging anymore.
But she was, right?
Yeah, she decided to quit judging in 2020.
But in all the world, she was always
she always
kind
everywhere.
of a
But
anchor
she used to compete as well. She did compete once.
Crazy. I didn't know that.
And she's a celebrity in Iceland.
What do we talk about?
Barista League.
Yeah.
Puck
press. Are you a puck presser or?
Well, I do believe it's a great solution for coffee shops for consistency.
Mm-hmm.
If it's only me making coffee, I think I'm consistent enough with myself.
Yeah, but can you tap and drink a beer at the same time?
No.
So.
You're not supposed to work when you're drinking beer.
That is true. You're not. I mean, this is all about competition, right?
Yeah, AeroPress.
So I
was super glad that the AeroPress goes back to the old version of it, like live and like in person.
I think the offline one was a bit difficult. I mean, we're the German championship host for Germany, so we're gonna probably organize that in the early spring. Or
did you see that?
I saw that, James.
I haven't seen the whole thing. It was too long for me.
It's just great, man. You're really living the dream.
Yeah.
But he needed someone on the back, right? Like,
he actually did close the whole road.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But he said that he's not doing coffee anymore. He's a YouTuber.
Into what?
Fun. He's a YouTuber.
YouTuber, okay. Yeah. James Hoffman. I mean, one of the real, how do you call it? Pioneers in Europe? Square mile? Dinosaurs. Dinosaur pioneer.
Yeah.
Well,
it was 2007.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
2007. And I think that from that first 10 years, he's still next to Tim Wendelbo, the most recognizable champion.
I think for sure. Although, I mean, Tim, I think, has been a bit out of the limelight, right?
Yeah, but like he's still like everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone. Tim but it's interesting when I talk to people about how influential Tim was for us, and people are like, really? They don't really realize that back then it was like Tim Wendelbo, it was James, there were
the
Klaus, Copy Collective.
Klaus was
Kopi, Charles and Ann.
Yeah, Klaus is my favorite WBC trophy.
Really? The goat.
Yeah. You know the story that they just
from Switzerland.
Yeah, because they forgot to make it.
But I thought that was okay, because Charles and Ann have one too, because they competed in the same. It was for all of them. They got goats, whatever place you were in.
Yeah.
I just somehow, you know how you get like these reminders of pictures from way back when? Mm-hmm. I would love to show you, but I'm probably not going to find it now. I'll show you later. It just was like popping up on my feed. A video of Klaus running it was probably in Rimini. And he's running to catch our little like bike. And yeah, it was pretty funny. All right, but that's, James has enough followers, right?
I think I have 1 million right now.
It's a lot.
This is a cow again. Oh, this is I think that Maconic has an app for stuff.
They do have an app.
Everybody has an app right now. Do you have an app in 5
We don't have an app. Wally? No. We should have an app.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
Holiday blend, making England woman.
Cropster Cafe. Yay or nay?
I never used it. I don't know what it's about.
So we're using it here. We helped a little bit with feedback on it. Mm-hmm. Our biggest challenge when we were doing QC was how to get baristas feedback into the QC session. And so we were using our own Cropster with our own like feedback forms and creating one for our baristas, and they would log in and we would be able to see the feedback while we were cupping. And eventually this kind of turned into, I think more and more people wanted to have barista feedback in their QC for roasting. And I think enough people talked to Cropster about it that they came up with this idea for Cropster Cafe. And then they added on this whole management side to it. So, how to do reminders and shop management. And you can put different, basically like sensors in the machine.
This is yours? Linea.
That is it. Berlin, yeah. Oh, actually, we're in the ad.
Berlin Mitte. Innsbruck.
That's really strange. We also don't have a KB90. But that's
might
us.
Not be yours, but this. Yeah.
That's for sure us. Kreuzberg. Funny. Okay.
You don't have one in Innsbruck?
I would love to have a cafe in Innsbruck. But I mean, how consistent is that? It just looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Different kinds of lines and graphs.
Caribbean coffee. Carib brew. I'm sorry, Haiti.
In Haiti. Let's get to something that's like controversial and that we shouldn't talk about.
Greece coffee culture.
I think.
Perfect mousse.
What are you looking forward to in Greece besides the milk change?
Well, I'm competing there, so in Ibrik.
Okay.
So there's one thing that I'm looking for.
To win?
Top 3.
Top 3? Okay.
Yeah.
What were you last time? You did
4.
And you want to beat that.
Yeah, I want to beat that. Like, there's only 4 people in the final if there's less than 14 competitors. And Ibrig is always a small one.
So they need more competitors, or?
No. The rule says that if there is less than 14 competitors, only 4 goes to the final instead of 6.
Crazy. So you need to get in the finals.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
well, that would be great.
And a part of that, I've never been to Greece, so
I've only been
I'm just afraid it's going
twice.
to be super hot.
I think in June, maybe not so hot.
It's hotter than Poland.
Canary
And
Islands.
it's the Liquor 43.
Are we gonna go through this whole magazine, or?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Barista Street, super good. No.
What do you think about coffee in cans?
In general.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it reminds me of like the old, Folger's house. This
but
old
it
kind of.
is, kind of old school. But on the other hand, it's probably pretty much recyclable.
It's recyclable. Yeah, that's true.
And looks cool. Like the branding could be very nice on
It's
it.
heavy,
It doesn't
but for
have-
shipping,
Well,
I think it's much more heavy than a bag.
depend.
And the other problem I have with a round container for coffee is that it doesn't. You're losing about 50% of your volume for shipping. So you're like,
Yeah, but then you can put like one here.
oh yeah, right. But how? No, but then you lose it on the edge.
Somewhere. You
Because
lose
you're
it
putting,
somewhere.
you
lose
need
it somewhere.
you need a round
Yeah.
shipping, right? You need to put it in a tube. Send them in tubes.
see?
Yeah, okay.
See, there's a solution for everything.
That's a great thing.
Vancouver already happened. We know the
Yeah,
champion.
but why is that? Why are they making an ad now for something?
Because it was in December, and this is like December-January issue.
But people don't get this to the beginning of January, the beginning of December, right?
Still, it's an AeroPress competition.
Yeah, true.
Best lattes, cappuccinos. Oh, I thought it's ice creams. I would eat an ice cream.
Premium. France.
Friends. Fancy color.
That's Lomi. That's a big Gießen.
It's a Gießen?
I think it's at Gießen, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I've never seen one so big.
So France. Have you been to France?
Been to France, yeah. My dad
What do you
lived there
think
for.
about the coffee scene in France?
I think it's really great. It was a little bit. I don't want to say like behind or later, because they always had their own unique scene going on. But I think it started a little bit slow, and so you still had that same kind of influence from Australian, baristas or coffee people coming there, and I think like Tom and Antoine starting Katoum, and you had a lot of really passionate people. You had people from the U.S. coming, and something similar that happened here, but maybe we were more aligned with like Nordic style than they were in France in the beginning, because I think in France they have this super strong cafe culture that.
Like the old style cafe.
Yeah, and you don't have that in Berlin.
No, you have only
You have
Turkish kebabs.
exactly. So kebab coffee.
So I've never been to France, so I can't.
Yeah, I really love France.
Again, cans, apps,
Machines.
cold brew pen.
What is this?
I have no idea.
It's a Toddy brew pen.
Okay,
You
so
store
it's, so you can. So it's a non-toxic food grade pen that you can write on stuff. You see?
Crazy.
Yeah. This again, ice creams.
What about
syrups, hemp?
New Haven, Connecticut? Montana Tellman. Crossroads.
I remember. This is like about their favorite accessory. There was one Polish barista was there. Oh, and our new world barista
Yes.
champion.
Did I meet him? How would you know?
I don't think so. I don't think he traveled a lot
Okay.
outside of Australia.
So do you remember his competition? What was like unique about it, or?
I think it was just solid and it was about something.
That's what I kind of remember. He just like kind of nailed it, or?
Yeah, like the thing is that he was for many years he was competing in Australia and just couldn't win with the Ona guys most of the time. And when he finally won, you see what happened.
So Ona didn't compete, or what?
They did. But like none of the me, Hugh Kelly, Matthew Lewin, I think Gus,
They were
Angus
all
McKee.
out, or?
Yeah, no, they just didn't want it.
Okay.
And I think that what was the important thing for this year was to have very, very solid coffee, like good for that competition, because people keep forgetting that the competition coffee have to match the score sheet. It doesn't have to be just like outstanding coffee for you. It just have to match.
Has
the
to
score
tick the boxes on the.
In general, yes. So his coffee and the second place coffee and the third place, as far as I heard, was very, very solid.
Do you know what they were, the coffees?
This is Colombia El Diviso. I don't remember the variety. The second place is Sudan Rume from Inmaculada and Eugenoides.
Yeah, gotcha.
And
Eugenoides is a popular coffee now, right?
it's sold out by 2025.
Crazy.
But like, still, if it's sold out already, nobody's going to use it anymore.
Yeah.
And the third place was La Negrita.
La Negrita from, okay.
There were solid coffees that actually matched the score sheet, and the score was pretty high.
But there's a common element, right? Colombia.
Well, if you think about it, it's actually makes sense.
Why?
Because Panama mostly grow geisha anyway, and geisha is not the espresso coffee.
Yeah.
Just like, it's a great coffee.
But it's hard to kind of like translate it into.
You just need to be in like a sweet spot. Like in this very point, this coffee tastes amazing. And only once Panama geisha won WBC.
Yeah.
Only once.
So why does everyone like? So many people buy geisha thinking they're going to compete, right?
Because it's Brewers Cup coffee.
And it's expensive.
Yeah, and it's like you got this marketing. It's like a little bit like it's a very bad comparison, but like it's a little bit like how Kopi Luwak is so popular. So
to convince someone that drinking shit.
No, it's more like marketing. It's just like the power of marketing.
Okay, but
a similar thing is with geisha coffees from Panama.
But Luwak is literally shit.
Yeah, but like the power of marketing, and people believe the geisha coffees are the best in the world.
Okay, I mean they're very. I think that they're unique in their complexity. There's not so many coffees that.
Not espresso coffees.
Yeah, you sort of lose that, I guess, when you.
They're too complex. Just imagine that, like if you pack everything like in such a small amount of liquid, all those flavors.
Yeah, it doesn't open up, right? It's kind of tight.
Like you need bigger volume. Like you need different temperatures. Like it's not just you're not going to be able to recognize all that greatness of Panama geisha in one sip.
But in milk,
just forget about it.
It disappears.
Yeah. It's too gentle. It's like you would put champagne into a cocktail.
Like
there are cocktails.
Should we try?
There are cocktails in champagne with champagne, but they are like it's not about the champagne anymore. It's about the combination, right?
Yeah.
And champagne is kind of giving a hint. Let's say the aroma or like the fizzy texture or something.
Right.
And the same would happen with geisha and milk. Like it might give something, but like is it about the coffee anymore?
But imagine in a signature drink maybe, right? Or
like if the coffee is so great and complex, do you really need to add stuff?
I think if you could translate that complexity into a drink that makes it more complex with the same characteristics, maybe it would do well.
Good.
I mean, if you make a signature drink that tastes like geisha, but maybe you don't use a geisha? I don't know. I don't know much about the world, so.
But that's the thing. In Colombian coffees, farmers in Colombia, especially in those farms like Café Granja, Inmaculada, Micava, what was this one?
Which one?
His coffee was El Division.
El Division.
Like they have a little bit more money behind it. They have people that are actually educated. There's there's this part of great terroir combined with knowledge and like with this
resources.
innovative. So that's why Colombian coffees will be winning.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe somewhere in there will happen Ecuador or Costa Rica.
But you also have so many different harvest periods. I mean, there's always coffee kind of being harvested in Colombia, but great.
But he's a very nice guy.
But also independent, right?
No, he works for Axel Coffee.
Really? Okay.
He works for Axel Coffee. I think he's responsible for training.
Yeah. That's great.
So yeah, it's going to be like pretty interesting to see what happened in Australia, because like kind of Ona had this, championship monopoly in Australia.
I mean, that
and
was like
now
years they won, right? Or
now they have a different champion from Australia.
so it changes the game a little. Or
we'll see. We'll see how the market will, react. How actually will use that opportunity, because Ona used that opportunity perfectly. Like what Sasa did with the Ona.
Coffee Man.
There was like they grow the business in coffee shops. They grow the wholesale business. They did the movie, they did the book.
Yeah, I didn't really finish the whole movie, but
which one? There are two.
Are there two? Coffee Man and Coffee Man 2.
Coffee Heroes is the other one.
Okay.
Coffee Heroes is like how Sasa was helping other competitors to win.
Gotcha.
And I'm part of it, and 60% of that movie is my story.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So I shouldn't watch it then, or
no. My dad is a star of that movie, but
he's in it, or
yeah, he's there. Like the actually guy from Australia traveled to Poland to record the interview with my dad.
Crazy.
Because my dad was making the table.
But he speaks English, right? Your dad?
My dad,
no.
Not really. I did translate.
Oh, you translated, okay.
In the backstage.
So there's Ben, right?
Yeah.
Ben Putt.
Yeah, Ben was doing the crazy thing. He was competing both in Brewers and Barista.
You know something about that, right?
No, not Barista and Brewers. I would never do that.
But you did e-brick and
Coffee and Good Spirits.
Yeah.
But like, think about complexity of Barista and complexity of Brewers, and then you have to pack everything in 4 days.
Okay.
Preparations, coffee. This is you have to be crazy.
Someone else is doing 2 this year, right? Or
this year?
That you know of?
I don't know this year, because like for the season we don't know. I think that Sławek was doing it in 2019.
He did it last year, yeah. That's right.
2018.
In Boston, right? Or?
But like, there is always a trade-off. You do good in one, and you do very bad in the other one.
True. But he wasn't in the finals, right? Or in the Brewers he was, but not in...
Sławek was 7 in Brewers and 39 in Barista.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was Ben was 5th in Barista and 20 something in.
But Ben, I mean, national champ is like what, 4 times or 3 times?
He was 4 times in the final WBC finals.
Yeah, crazy.
He was 2 times 3.
What
in Korea he was 4.
Accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
So okay.
But think about Sami Piccolo. Canada has something like that. Sami Piccolo was constantly 2nd in the Worlds.
But yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Like then you're like so close that you just kind of overcomplicate stuff.
Yeah. And
that's why you're not winning, because you overcomplicate.
And then you just, I mean, what do you guess you're best to take time off and probably, right? Or keep competing?
Well, there are 2 ways. Like you can keep competing, but you have to learn from those mistakes, and most of the time you don't. Yeah. Because like you want to do better. Hard. Because you want to do better, and in your mind, doing better is like making it more complex, more complicated, and most of the time it's just like you just do the other way around. Mm-hmm. Like it's Einstein said once.
Do it the same.
If you keep doing the same stuff, why you expect different results?
You mean Einstein was a world barista champion?
No, Einstein was Einstein. But that's what he said.
You're not drinking your beer. Come on.
It's like it's coffee beer.
It's so heavy. It's like thick. Okay, so what are you? Who are you thinking? Who will be top 5? Do you think, or 6
this year? We don't have national champions yet.
They didn't happen yet?
Or? No, like all the nationals are happening right now, because the Worlds were in October?
Gotcha.
So like all of them will be happening.
So we cut that part out because it makes me look really stupid, right? Like I'm not. Okay.
Maybe some of them.
Yeah, but I guess we'll see a lot of kind of familiar.
Yeah.
There's Claire. I know a lot of these people, not very well, but I mean Claire is. I've never seen someone so engaged and volunteering and passionate about nice. Like the community of competing.
Deserved the top 6 and top 3.
Yeah, she was 2nd, right? Or
3rd.
3rd.
Morgan was 2nd.
Yeah. I was really happy to see her come in the top 3.
Yeah, Winston Thomas from Africa, South Africa. This is an Indonesian guy. It's a funny story, because he was, just before he came, he went on stage. He asked me to give him my magic, and I did. And he was in the finals.
You gave him that?
I was like, I was just shaking hands, like, I can borrow you my magic.
Okay, crazy.
He went into finals.
Wow. You should sell your magic.
Well, I will invoice him later.
Invoice him for like 1 times magic.
Yeah.
WBC magic.
We have chocolate in here.
I'm not. Yeah, that's not.
Chocolate is a big thing as well. India. Have you been to India?
I've never been to India.
Me neither.
So how are we going to talk about that?
No, we're not. But I see a growing community. But you had coffee from India, right?
Yeah, I mean everyone.
Yeah.
Probably has
What
had
do you
it,
think
right?
about it?
I think.
Interesting.
I think it could be interesting. I don't actually know enough to talk about it. I could bullshit, but
there's this guy, Damian Durda, you know?
yeah.
He's
Everyone knows Damien.
He's cooperating with one of the Indian farmers.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's like with I don't remember.
But like growing coffee together?
Yeah, brain
or?
processing.
Wow.
So there's, if you want to coffee
should
from
call-
India, you should call him.
My problem is I got rid of Instagram and all social media. Batch brew. Okay, we don't talk about Damien anymore, right? Damien. The coffee world's greatest smile.
True.
Right? You know what I mean?
I don't.
He has such a big smile.
Like there's a lot of people that has a big smile in coffee.
Okay. Who else? Who am I thinking of? Wasn't Damien, he was at 49th Parallel, right?
Yeah, and he also worked in the Visit in here.
Yeah, he worked here.
A little bit
True.
here. Okay, batch brew. What do you think about batch brew? You like it? You don't like it?
I love batch brew. I had kind of I think a lot of people sort of pushed it off in favor of hand brew, but I think when you have a busy enough cafe, nothing can really beat a batch brew.
Yeah.
If you can brew it right, and
that's the key.
if you can brew it right.
Most of the batch brews that I have had in my life was like mostly over extracted.
It can be hard, I think, because I think the number one mistake is you use the wrong size thermos. So you either have too much air and you're not brewing the amount that you need to actually serve it fresh.
Yeah.
The other one, I think a lot of the brewers they're not really meant to agitate coffee, so it's really hard to get the right kind of spray head.
It's also the dose is not adjusted most of the time.
Yeah.
And the ratio.
But
I think
batch brews, growing up in the US, it's kind of, everyone knows it.
Yeah, I believe that for many like new coffee shops with like a big rotation, this is a much better solution than hand brew, because like then the baristas are always pushing the hand brew to the last, and then you wait 45 minutes for coffee.
This can be a problem.
Yeah.
I think you need if you set up right. So Gary Horn, right?
I have no idea.
I know him. I've met him a few times, but I don't know him very well. I just know that I needed a Malkunic grinder. When we were doing, we got some grinders for Wiacek, and I reached out to them, and it was like super helpful with getting us machines. Although they're not really supposed to, I think, right? Or I don't know.
They're not what?
I don't think you're supposed to really get extra grinders from the distributor, right? Or
like if you can, they were like it's their policy.
Okay.
It's their policy, only their policy.
But he seems like a nice guy. He likes polo.
And they are not sponsor of grinders anymore.
Who's doing grinders?
Nuova Simonelli. Victoria Arduino, Nuova Simonelli.
So we're basically done, right? Oh, wait a minute. Now we're at the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Kyle. So Kyle and Lem, and there's Lem, yeah, okay. That's old school. What year is that?
2017.
So Black and White Roasters in Raleigh, right? They're in Raleigh or
in US,
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. Yeah.
Raleigh.
I'm very bad in geography of the United States.
Lem is one of my favorite coffee people. I love that guy.
Yeah, but is he like you haven't been to New York for the Coffee Masters, right?
No, but he was. For a while. I think not during COVID. He was hosting also in London.
Yes.
And so I got to know him in New York and in London. Really genuinely like.
Are you going back to judge the Coffee Masters?
I hope so. You want to compete?
No, I cannot.
Once you win, you can't compete.
No, I did judge, so that's why I cannot compete.
Once you judge, you can compete.
They didn't tell me that before.
So.
Again, batch brew.
Batch brews.
Yeah,
So that's about it.
So if you want us to engage, like, or comment on anything else happening in the coffee world, just leave a comment, or like just point us in the right direction.
Yeah.
Point us in the right direction. We have our own sources, and we will be
Happy
doing
to.
much more stuff in the next episodes.
What kind of themes are we talking? Coffee.
Like, well, basically
coffee,
everything.
alcohol, mixology.
Well,
roasting.
Coffee related is the most.
Yeah.
Close to
Relevant. We should probably use this as an opportunity to talk about coffee.
Yeah, coffee is the most relevant, but like anything about like a coffee market in different countries, different cities.
Green sourcing.
Trends in drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Like, drinking habits.
Boiling points at different altitudes.
Well, yeah, anything that we might get confused about is welcome.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching this long video.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers.